But Dean Bresciani, they did not come to us and say, what do you think about Dean Bresciani? They said, here, we're going to offer it to General Weber. And if you think student input was in that process, guess who got end up hired? And guess what March Committee said? Don't hire now, hold off. National search wasn't followed. Student input wasn't followed. When Nadine Siddiqui, head of dining services, who brought us the tomato walk, who brought us innovations in dining services, was fired, nobody was talked to from the student body. And Lama Howard was put there, and nobody was talked to. When the MSC renovation process was changed, nobody was talked to, even though the bill that we voted on in the Senate in 2007 basically said, we are voting on a referendum to support this process that included opening it up in parts. And that was not followed. Now, whether or not you agree or disagree with any of that, if you honestly think that student input has already been followed and it's going to continue to be followed in a few years because we're going to suck up right here and give up any power we have in the Senate to say something meaningful, then by God, I guess I'm not a student senator. Because my constituents are telling me that this is the time for action, that this is the time for us to say something. Now, having heard both sides of the issue, Mr. Speaker, I move the previous question.
Second. Previous question on the floor, seconded by Senator Hines. All those in favor of the motion that will secure an immediate vote on the amendment, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Nay. Chair calls to some division. All those in favor, signify by standing. Fails. We return to debate. Senator Bain, you are recognized for 2.5 minutes.
Senator Bain, Corps Cadets. Jess, I don't know if you know, but Dean Siddiqui not only did he bring some tomato bar, but he also brought us $5 billion worth of debt, which is, I guess, one of your bills because you love paying more fees and all that kind of stuff. The biggest point that I'm so sick and tired of hearing is the fact that we are not taking accountability of ourselves, much less accountability of the administration. I do not disagree at all with the idea that Dr. Murano is not listening to us. But you know what? Through this bill, we are telling her that we're not going to listen to her. That we come in here, we say we're the freaking senator of Corps Cadets, we're the senator of business, and we deserve to be heard. That's bullcrap. Excuse my language. I apologize. There's no reason that we should think that because we are a 4-year student who is elected by maybe 200, 300 votes at most, we know her job better than she does. We're here for 4 years. There are people who have been here for 10 years, and 10 years after. The 10 years that you're talking about after for the health services thing, we're not going to see that. It's going to be the administrators who are freaking dealing with that when we're giving money back to the school. That who are going to be dealing with that. There's no reason, and the reason I asked the question at the very beginning, what do you feel about one-way or two-way communication? The fact of the matter is that with this bill, without this amendment, we are on a road of one-way communication. We are grabbing her by the arm and saying, we don't care what you think, this is what we have to do. And with that, I don't understand how you wouldn't want to be respectful, polite to the president of the university, because the fact is she doesn't have to give one whit to what we say. And just dissing her like this and embarrassing her in front of the public is ridiculous. And I think that if you vote for this amendment or vote against it, you should be ashamed to call yourself an Aggie, because
you don't hit Aggie.
And the reason why I say that is because you are making a mockery of the Aggie Code of Honor and everything that it stands for.
Mr. Speaker, point of order. Aggies don't question other Aggies last time I checked.
Wait a minute there. Easy there. Oh, okay. All right. I've got to clarify something big time. Aggies do question other Aggies. We have an Aggie Code of Honor for a reason. If any of you lie, cheat, or steal, I'm going to call you out on it. So you're out of order.
What information, Mr. Speaker? Who's lying, cheating, or stealing here?
Well, I mean, we're talking about character. Character defines cheating. If you don't have character, you've cheated out on character.
So for introducing this bill, Mr. Speaker, I don't have character, I'm not an Aggie.
Well, you don't have...
Comment in order, Mr. Speaker. Are you ruling his comment in order?
It's in debate. What cannot be in order? I will deviate my judgment on your motion to Chair Carlson.
Making direct attacks against other people in this room is always out of order. Goes both ways. Either.
He made a generalized statement, but I will rule it out of order then. Very well. He made a generalized statement.
Point of parliamentary inquiry.
Say your point.
Do the rules, the generality is debatable, I assume, because a certain group who support this motion
Okay.
is very specific. Do the rules...
So rule. Okay, I got you. I'm with you now. Okay. Out of order. Now we come back to debate. He didn't motion the previous question. He yielded the floor. Okay. All right, Senator Harris, now you have the floor. You have, sir, about a minute.
Alden Harris, College of Science. I don't plan on taking more than a minute. I feel right now, Senate, like I am in the 59th session. That's when I came in. And I remember we tried to pass a few good bills that communicated student opinion on a few important issues. And every time myself and Senator Carlson, and the only other person besides myself and Senator Carlson who was in that session was Cody DeSuit, and he sometimes stood with us as well. But the only people here in this body were in the 59th session. I'm sorry, you were as well. I apologize.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. When the few of us stood up against the officer team, it was always united. And we said, shouldn't we question this? Like, for example, raising the fee cap. When the officer team stood up and said, we have to do it, or we won't, the administration won't listen to us. We don't have any power. They always talk about power. And you know what? If we didn't vote with them, everyone was afraid they're going to lose their power. I feel like talking about that, with all due respect, Chair Lovelace, is using fear to try to get your way on this issue. This is an apology. This is an apology to the administration. I understand.
Please finish your sentence, sir.
I move to extend the debate by a period of 30 seconds.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Second on the floor by Senator Bell. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. So ordered.
When we stand up and we accept the fact, or we accept the statement that if we ever express any dissent to the administration, we're gone, we're out of here, they're just going to kick us out. How can we possibly serve our constituents? How can we possibly express those who put us in this office? If we stand up, and we don't stand up when we have to, when it's critical like this, if we issue an apology for us not communicating, what good is this bill? If we hand it to Murano a piece of paper that says, I'm sorry we didn't try hard enough, when it's been clearly laid out that Murano didn't try hard enough. That's what this bill is about. This bill is about moving forward with communication while still expressing a clear opinion and being true to our constituents. With that, I'm sorry, but I moved the previous question.
Previous question, motion by Senator Harris. Seconded by Harold.
Point of information.
State your point.
Can we display President Murano's email to the student body on...
That's a point of personal preference. You still make that motion.
Yes.
Motion made. I will do it, but I will hear the seconds on the bill, on that motion. Seconded by Chair Nichols. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. All those in favor of previous questions signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Again, the chair of the ayes do have it.
I'm looking for a roll call vote.
Seconds.
I withdraw the motion because this is something that requires a ballot vote. I don't know, court parliamentary inquiry.
State your point.
Because this is something of such importance that I wasn't thinking. I point parley inquiry to Chair Carlson. Can an amendment be voted on with a ballot? That's not something traditionally done. But
Yeah, and it can be done by anything. I mean, I'll rule a ballot is legitimate immediately. You don't even need a motion for that.
Considering the importance of this, considering the fact that we all have personal opinions, I move for a ballot vote.
Okay, so ordered. State your point.
Can we have the amendment put back up on the screen?
We'll get to that email eventually. All right, the amendment is there for you to read. Okay, let me explain. Very clear before you vote. Hey, come on. All right, hey, we're all in third grade. Raise your hand. Yeah, I've got the floor. Okay. All right, this is the first inaction clause. Okay, this is what it amends it to. This creates a new third inaction clause and takes 3 on over and makes them higher numbers. So 3 becomes 4, 4 becomes 5, etc. Is everybody cool?